The story of the Ghia L6.4 is a journey into the extraordinary. This was not just a car. It was an emblem of a unique partnership between Italian design brilliance and American engineering ingenuity. Born in a time of experimentation and innovation, the Ghia L6.4 epitomized exclusivity, luxury, and cutting-edge technology.
The journey of the Ghia L6.4 begins in the early 1950s with Chrysler's Dodge Fire Arrow 4 concept car. Designed by Virgil Exner, the Fire Arrow was a bold attempt to challenge European automakers in style and innovation. However, Chrysler decided not to move forward with its production. This left an opportunity that Eugene Casserole, a visionary businessman and owner of Automobile Shippers Incorporated, seized upon. Casserole partnered with Carrozzeria Ghia, a renowned Italian coach builder led by Luigi Segre, to bring the Fire Arrow concept to life in the form of the Dual Ghia. The Dual Ghia, introduced in 1956, was a luxury convertible powered by a Chrysler engine and built in extremely limited numbers. Only 117 units were produced between 1956 and 1958, making it a favorite among Hollywood elites, including Frank Sinatra and other members of the Rat Pack. After the Dual Ghia's production ended, Casserole's health declined, and Paul Farrago, vice president of Dual Motors, took the lead in developing a successor. This new car, the Ghia L6.4, debuted in 1960 at the Paris Motor Show. Unlike its predecessor, the L6.4 was a hardtop coupe designed as a 2+2 Grand Tourer. It featured a custom chassis and body entirely crafted by Ghia in Turin, Italy, while Chrysler supplied the drivetrain and other mechanical components. The Ghia L6.4's design is a testament to the artistry of Virgil Exner and the craftsmanship of Ghia's skilled workforce. The car's sleek and understated elegance sets it apart from the flashy, fin designs typical of the late 1950s. It features a distinctive oval grille with an egg crate pattern, smoothly contoured rear fenders without fins, and unique sugar scoop taillights. The large, three-piece rear window enhances visibility and adds to the car's futuristic appearance. Inside, the Ghia L6.4 offers luxury befitting its status as a bespoke vehicle. High-quality leather upholstery, plush carpeting, and a well-appointed dashboard greet occupants. Custom-fitted luggage was included, catering to the needs of affluent buyers who expected their cars to be as functional as they were beautiful. The 2+2 seating arrangement provided comfortable accommodations for 2 passengers in the front and 2 in the rear, though the rear seats were smaller and better suited for occasional use. At the heart of the Ghia L6.4 lies a Chrysler 383 cubic inch V8 engine. This powerful unit, equipped with a single 4-barrel carburetor, produces approximately 335 horsepower. The engine's robust performance was complemented by a 3-speed torque-flight automatic transmission, known for its smooth and reliable operation. The Ghia L6.4's drivetrain configuration was rear-wheel drive, providing a balance of performance and handling. The car's top speed was around 140 miles per hour, making it one of the faster luxury vehicles of its time. Its acceleration capabilities were impressive, though specific figures were rarely documented due to its limited production. The car's chassis was custom designed by Ghia and incorporated a combination of Chrysler components and bespoke elements. The suspension system featured independent front suspension and a solid rear axle with leaf springs, ensuring a smooth ride without sacrificing handling precision. The braking system included power-assisted drum brakes on all 4 wheels, which were standard for luxury vehicles of the early 1960s. The Ghia L6.4 is a large and imposing vehicle, measuring approximately 210 inches in length, 75 inches in width, and 52 inches in height. Its wheelbase spans 115 inches, providing a spacious interior and a stable ride. The car's curb weight is around 4,000 pounds, reflecting the substantial materials and construction methods used in its production. The Ghia L6.4's price tag of $13,500 made it one of the most expensive cars of its era. Adjusted for inflation, this would equate to well over $100,000 today. This high cost was a result of the car's hand-built nature and the quality of its materials and components. Between 1961 and 1963, only 26 units were produced, making it an exceptionally rare automobile. The exclusivity of the Ghia L6.4 attracted a clientele that included some of the most famous names of the time. Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, and Lucille Ball were among its owners, further enhancing the car's allure. However, the high cost of production, coupled with limited demand, ultimately led to the end of its manufacturing run. Today, the Ghia L6.4 is a coveted collector's item. Of the original 26 cars built, only 17 are known to have survived, making them even more desirable. These cars occasionally appear at auctions, where they fetch significant sums due to their rarity, design, and historical significance. The Ghia L6.4 remains a symbol of a unique era in automotive history when bespoke craftsmanship and international collaboration produced vehicles that were as much works of art as they were modes of transportation. Its story involves some of the most influential figures in car design and manufacturing, including Eugene Casarel, Virgil Exner, Luigi Segre, and Paul Farrago, as well as iconic brands like Chrysler and Ghia. In the world of 1960s motorsport, one car stood out as a symbol of raw power and innovation, the Lola T70. Designed by Eric Broadley, the visionary founder of Lola Cars, this British-made machine wasn't just a race car, it was a revolution on wheels. Born from a desire to dominate the track with a lightweight chassis and a roaring American V8 engine, the T70 roared to life in 1965 and left competitors scrambling to keep up. Whether blazing through Can-Am circuits or conquering endurance races, the Lola T70 wasn't just fast. It was a force to be reckoned with. Eric Broadley had already gained recognition for his work on the Ford GT40 project. However, after creative differences with Ford, Broadley decided to focus on building a car that could dominate sports car racing on its own terms. The result was the Lola T70, a machine designed for speed, durability, and adaptability. Its name came from the prototype classification it was built to compete in, and it became a staple of 1960s racing events across the world. The design of the Lola T70 centered around a lightweight aluminum monocoque chassis. This structure was not only rigid, but also lighter than the tubular space frames commonly used by other manufacturers at the time. The aerodynamic bodywork, shaped after extensive testing and refinement, featured large cooling vents and low-profile lines to minimize drag. Early versions of the T70 were open-top Spider models, while later iterations introduced a closed cockpit configuration to meet the demands of endurance racing. Under the hood, the T70 relied on large displacement American V8 engines, most frequently sourced from Chevrolet. These engines, ranging in size from 4.9 liters to 5.7 liters, delivered between 400 and 500 horsepower, depending on the configuration. The engine was paired with either a ZF or Hewland gearbox, providing 4 or 5-speed manual options for precise control on the track. With a curb weight of approximately 1,800 pounds, the car had an exceptional power-to-weight ratio, allowing it to accelerate rapidly and reach speeds exceeding 190 miles per hour. The suspension system featured double wishbones on both the front and rear axles, complemented by coil springs and dampers. This setup gave the T70 outstanding handling, enabling it to corner with precision and maintain stability at high speeds. The braking system consisted of large disc brakes, essential for managing the immense power and speed of the car. The Lola T70's first major breakthrough came in the Can-Am series, which was dominated by American and Canadian teams. The T70's lightweight design and Chevrolet V8 power proved to be a winning combination on the fast circuits of North America. In Europe, the T70 competed in FIA Group 4 and Group 6 categories, taking on rivals such as the Ferrari 250 LM and Porsche 906. It was particularly successful in shorter races where its high-speed capabilities and acceleration gave it an edge. However, the T70 faced challenges in endurance events like the 24 Hours of Le Mans, where fuel consumption and reliability often became limiting factors. One of the T70's most iconic victories came in 1969 at the 24 Hours of Daytona. The Sunoco Lola T70 Chevrolet, driven by Mark Donohue and Chuck Parsons, dominated the race from start to finish. This victory demonstrated the T70's ability to excel in endurance racing, even against strong competition from brands like Ford and Ferrari. The car was equipped with a 5.0-liter Chevrolet V8 engine and a full aluminum monocoque chassis, making it both fast and durable on Daytona's demanding circuit. Over its production run, the Lola T70 was built in multiple versions, each with unique improvements. The original Mark I Spider debuted in 1965 and was followed by the Mark II in 1966. The Mark II featured a lighter chassis, more aluminum components, and refined aerodynamics. Approximately 33 Mark II chassis were built, most of which were fitted with Chevrolet engines. In 1967, the Mark III was introduced as a closed cockpit variant designed for endurance racing. It was the first Lola car to benefit from wind tunnel testing, which improved its aerodynamic efficiency. The closed cockpit design offered better driver protection and reduced drag, making it more competitive on high-speed circuits. The final iteration of the T70, the Mark IIIB, debuted in 1969 with squared-off bodywork, improved cooling, larger brakes, and a 5-speed Hewland LG 600 gearbox. The Mark IIIB also featured a full aluminum monocoque chassis for increased rigidity and reduced weight. The T70's versatility extended beyond racing circuits. During the production of Steve McQueen's film Le Mans, 1971, Lola T70 chassis were used as stand-ins for Porsche 917s and Ferrari 512s in crash scenes. The T70's similar proportions and availability made it a practical choice for filmmakers. The T70 also found success outside of racing. In 1968, South African driver Mike Doty set a national land speed record in a T70 Mark IIIB, achieving a two-way average speed of 191.80 miles per hour. This feat demonstrated the car's capability, not just as a race car, but also as a high-performance machine in its own right. However, the T70's dominance began to wane in the late 1960s. Regulatory changes in motorsport, including restrictions on engine displacement, limited the effectiveness of the T70's large V8 engines. Additionally, the emergence of purpose-built endurance racers like the Porsche 917 and Ferrari 512 further overshadowed the T70 in international competition. Despite these challenges, the Lola T70 left a lasting legacy in motorsport. Its innovative design, raw power, and racing pedigree made it a standout car of its era. Today, the T70 remains a popular choice in historic racing events, where its performance continues to impress enthusiasts and drivers alike. Original examples are highly sought after by collectors, and replica models are often built to preserve the spirit of this iconic machine. The story of the Sunbeam Venezia is one of ambition, collaboration, and a unique blend of British and Italian automotive craftsmanship. It's a car that many have never heard of, yet it represents a fascinating chapter in the history of the Roots Group and their efforts to expand their presence in the European market. To understand the Sunbeam Venezia, we must first explore the British company behind it. The Roots Group was a prominent British automobile manufacturer in the mid-20th century. Known for brands like Hillman, Humber, and Sunbeam, the company was enjoying significant success in the 1950s. Sunbeam, in particular, gained recognition for its participation in European rallies with models like the Sunbeam Alpine and Sunbeam Rapier. These successes inspired Roots to target a broader international audience, especially in Europe. During this period, Italy was a hub for stylish, high-performance cars. Roots saw an opportunity to produce a car specifically tailored to the Italian market, one that combined British engineering with the design sensibilities of Italian manufacturers. To bring this vision to life, Roots partnered with Carrozzeria Turin, a renowned coach-building firm based in Milan, Italy. Carrozzeria Turin was a respected name in the automotive industry. Founded in 1926, the company had developed a reputation for creating elegant and lightweight designs using its patented superleggera construction method. This technique involved attaching thin aluminum body panels to a tubular steel framework, resulting in cars that were both light and robust. Touring had previously collaborated with Roots on the Sunbeam Alpine, modifying its design to improve storage space and aesthetics. Roots was impressed with Touring's work, which led to the decision to involve them in the creation of the Venezia. The plan was ambitious. Carrozzeria Touring would design and build the bodies of the cars in Italy, while Roots would provide the mechanical components from Britain. The Sunbeam Venezia was based on the chassis of the Humber Scepter, another model from the Roots Group lineup. The Humber Scepter's platform provided a solid foundation, and its dimensions made it suitable for a stylish two-door coupe. Under the hood, the Venezia was powered by a 1.6-liter, 1,592 cc four-cylinder engine. This engine produced 88 horsepower at 5,800 revolutions per minute, enabling the car to reach a top speed of 100 miles per hour. The car also featured a 4-speed manual transmission with an optional overdrive, making it a pleasant vehicle for long-distance touring. Carrozzeria Touring's design gave the Venezia a distinctive look. The car featured clean, flowing lines, a narrow grille, and twin headlights that gave it a modern appearance for its time. At the rear, the sculpted wings and integrated taillights added an element of sophistication. The Venezia measured approximately 166 inches in length and weighed around 2,200 pounds, reflecting Touring's expertise in lightweight construction. Inside, the car offered seating for 4 passengers. The interior was trimmed with high-quality materials, including leather upholstery and a wooden dashboard. The dashboard featured simple yet functional instrumentation, aligning with the car's role as a grand tourer. Despite its compact size, the Venezia was designed to provide comfort and practicality for both driver and passengers. The Sunbeam Venezia was unveiled in Milan on September 9, 1963, and officially launched 3 days later in Venice. The choice of Venice for the launch was symbolic, as it highlighted the car's Italian connection. The launch event was memorable because it marked the first time a car had been brought into St. Mark's Square. The Venezia was transported to the square on a gondola, creating a striking image that emphasized the car's unique blend of British and Italian heritage. However, despite the dramatic unveiling, the Venezia faced challenges from the start. The Italian market was highly competitive, with established brands like Alfa Romeo, Fiat, and Lancia dominating sales. These manufacturers offered cars that were often more affordable and better suited to local tastes. The Sunbeam Venezia, priced at a premium, struggled to find its niche among these rivals. Production of the Sunbeam Venezia was handled in a somewhat unconventional manner. Roots shipped the mechanical components, including the engine, chassis, and suspension, to Carrozzeria Touring's facilities in Milan. Touring then assembled the cars, adding their bespoke bodywork and interiors. Once completed, the cars were shipped back to Britain or directly to dealerships in Europe. Estimates of the total production numbers vary, but it is believed that between 145 and 203 units were built between 1963 and 1964. This limited production run was due in part to the high cost of manufacturing each car. The use of the superleggera construction method, while innovative, was labor-intensive and expensive. Additionally, the cost of shipping components back and forth between Britain and Italy added to the overall expense. Sales of the Venezia were modest at best. While the car received praise for its styling and craftsmanship, its performance was not seen as particularly impressive given its price point. Buyers in the Italian market, for whom the car was primarily intended, tended to favor domestic brands that offered similar or better performance at a lower cost. In other European markets, the Venezia struggled to compete with models like the Jaguar Mark II, which offered more power and prestige for a similar price. The Sunbeam Venezia's production ended in 1964, just a year after it was introduced. Plans for additional variants, including a convertible version and a V8-powered model, were considered but never came to fruition. The high production costs, combined with low sales, made it clear that the Venezia was not financially viable for the Roots Group. Today, the Sunbeam Venezia is a rare and sought-after collector's item. With fewer than 30 known surviving examples, it holds a special place in the history of both Roots and Carrozzeria Touring. Its unique combination of British engineering and Italian design continues to captivate automotive enthusiasts and serves as a reminder of a time when cross-border collaborations aimed to create something truly unique. The story of the FSO Syrena 104 begins in post-war Poland. Following World War II, the country faced immense challenges in rebuilding its economy and infrastructure. One of the priorities was to create affordable and reliable transportation for the Polish population. The Fabryka Samochodu Osobowych, or FSO, became the leading manufacturer tasked with this responsibility. Located in Warsaw, the FSO factory was where the journey of the Syrena series began. In 1953, the Polish government requested a car that would be economical, simple, and accessible to the average citizen. Engineers at FSO began working on prototypes using available resources. Initially, there were two main designs for the car's body. One featured a mostly steel frame, while the other used wood with a leatherette covering. These innovative methods were a response to material shortages in Poland at the time. Ultimately, the steel body was chosen for its durability, and the first production model, the Syrena 100, was released in 1957. Over the years, the Syrena series underwent several upgrades. By the time the Syrena 104 debuted in 1966, FSO had refined its production methods and engineering. The Syrena 104 was an evolution of the earlier models, including the Syrena 101, 102, and 103. Each model introduced incremental improvements addressing issues in performance, comfort, and reliability. The Syrena 104 in particular marked a significant leap forward. The most notable change in the Syrena 104 was its engine. This model introduced a new 3-cylinder, 2-stroke engine developed by FSO engineers. The engine had a displacement of 51.4 cubic inches and produced 40 horsepower at 4,300 revolutions per minute. It delivered a maximum torque of 57.5 pound-feet at 2,750 revolutions per minute. Compared to the 2-cylinder engines of earlier models, the 3-cylinder unit offered smoother performance and better power output. This engine was paired with a 4-speed manual transmission, a feature that distinguished the Syrena 104 from its predecessors. The transmission had synchronized gears, which made shifting smoother and more efficient. The gear lever was mounted on the steering column, a design choice that saved interior space and improved ease of use. The Syrena 104's performance capabilities were modest by international standards, but they met the needs of Polish drivers. The car could reach a top speed of 75 miles per hour, making it suitable for city and highway use. It consumed approximately 8 liters of fuel per 100 miles, which translated to about 29.4 miles per gallon. The 2-stroke engine required a mixture of gasoline and oil in a 30-to-1 ratio, a common practice for such engines at the time. While this fuel system was simple, it also required careful maintenance to ensure reliable operation. The chassis of the Syrena 104 used a box-type ladder frame, which provided a sturdy foundation for the car. The front suspension was independent, with wishbones and a transverse leaf spring serving as the lower arms. Lever dampers were used to enhance ride comfort. At the rear, the car had a rigid axle with a transverse upper leaf spring, trailing radius arms and lever dampers. This suspension setup was designed to handle Poland's uneven roads, which were often unpaved or poorly maintained. The braking system of the Syrena 104 included hydraulic drum brakes on all 4 wheels. The total area of the brake linings was 221.6 square inches, providing adequate stopping power for a car of its size and weight. The parking brake was mechanical and acted on the rear wheels. This straightforward braking system was easy to maintain, an important factor for drivers in rural areas with limited access to professional mechanics. The dimensions of this Syrena were compact, making it well suited for urban driving. The car measured 159 inches in length, 61 inches in width, and 59.6 inches in height. It had a wheelbase of 90.6 inches and a ground clearance of 8.1 inches. These proportions allowed the Syrena 104 to navigate tight city streets and rough country roads with equal ease. The car's curb weight was approximately 1,874 pounds, making it relatively lightweight and contributing to its fuel efficiency. The interior of the Syrena 104 was simple but functional. It could seat up to 5 passengers, making it a practical choice for families. The dashboard featured basic instruments, including a speedometer, fuel gauge, and warning lights. The upholstery was plain, reflecting the car's focus on affordability. Despite its simplicity, the interior was designed to be durable and easy to clean, qualities that were valued by Polish drivers. The production of the Syrena 104 took place in two locations, the main FSO factory in Warsaw and the FSM factory in Bielsko-Biała. This dual production setup allowed FSO to meet the growing demand for affordable cars in Poland. Between 1966 and 1972, thousands of Syrena 104 units were manufactured, making it a common sight on Polish roads. The Syrena 104 played a crucial role in the daily lives of many Polish families. It was used for commuting, errands, and even long-distance travel. While it was not a luxury vehicle, its practicality and reliability made it a valuable asset for its owners. The Syrena 104 also became a symbol of Polish ingenuity and resilience, representing the country's ability to create functional and accessible products under challenging circumstances. In 1972, the Syrena 104 was succeeded by the Syrena 105, which introduced further improvements in design and performance. However, the legacy of the Syrena 104 remains significant. It was a car that met the needs of its time, providing affordable transportation to a population recovering from war and economic hardship. Today, the 104 is remembered as an important chapter in Poland's automotive history, reflecting the determination and creativity of its designers and engineers.